Okay, so just dying to try this stuff. I'm going to give it a try today on plastic models. What I have is, so this is that paint that I was just showing in the previous video. Rather than re-explain it all, if you could just go back to the previous video to see everything about this particular paint. But I want to try it on a plastic model. What I've got here is the top of the Big Bad Van. This is off the wreck version of it. I've got two of those, so this really is a kind of a scrap piece. Not too bad though. I was looking to restore that, but I don't think I'm going to ruin anything. But using it as a test piece, it's definitely not using the good piece. So just be aware. I've got a complete kit of this. I got another one of these. That's basically what I'm saying. But yeah, this is automotive paint and automotive primer from DuPont. Right there. And the issue was, now of course this is going to be really hot paint, so the chances of this melting or affecting the plastic is really high. So when there's a high chance of the paint ruining the plastic, you definitely have to get some primer on there. The question today is this being automotive primer and being the type where it's saying, you know, industrial use only, not for sale to the public. Gotta wonder if this is a hot primer, and that's what we're going to find out today. So let's spray it. Okay, so this is what I got. This is actually a full day later. Last seen was yesterday morning, and this is the next morning, so it's been about 24 hours. I sprayed the primer on there and let it dry. I'm going to get up really close because I want to show you. It really sprayed nice. Held on all the details you didn't want to as well, and it's very few little bumps. To make it perfect, you would want to sand, but I'm not going to be doing that today. This is just basically a test for paint reactions, and as you can see, the primer did not react to the plastic at all. You can see better underneath here, especially like on this clear part here. You can see that the primer did not react to the plastic, and that's good. Now the primer should protect the plastic from the hotter paint, the white paint, and that's what I'm going to spray now and see what we get. So hang tight. Okay, so here's a look at what we got. This was basically kind of two quick coats, about 5 minutes apart, and the stuff sprayed kind of thin, which was no problem. If you look up really close, it did orange peel, which is somewhat normal for rattle can paint. But, you know, definitely something I wanted to mention is that it's not the type of paint that is foolproof or idiot-proof. So you're going to have to, if you were using this stuff, you were going to have to use it just like you would any paint out of a rattle can. But it covered well. It did not react to the primer or the plastic. And so what you have here is probably a very hard, durable paint that would even stand up to outside, but I mean, how often do you put your model cars outside? So it's not necessary. It's certainly a neat option, especially for custom mix colors. But for something like white, I probably wouldn't go back for some. But for custom mix color, I might have them custom mix something. That never really comes up. But that's a look at it. This was just sprayed. I'm going to do a follow-up just at the end here showing what it looks like after a day of drying. And that will wrap it up. So hang on. 24 hours later, I'll finish up this video. Okay, so anyway, I didn't wait till the whole next day. This is about 8 hours later. I painted this in the morning, and this is, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's been about 8 hours, and it is dry, just a touch. I think if I really dug in there, I could probably make a indentation, but it feels, gosh, hard already. Feels really smooth. It's not what I'm used to at all. Very, very different. Anyway, I had left the garage door open, so let's see here. Yeah, I was trying to show that I got a bunch of particles in there. Can't quite find the right angle, but terrible paint job. Little tiny particles. It could be all rubbed out, polished, and I might do that just for fun. But it worked. It's really good paint. Really, really good paint. Bring this out in the sun. Take a look at that. It's actually so bright I can't see what I'm looking at in the viewfinder, so I'm hoping I have it on there. Yeah, as I said, I did get the orange peel on there, and now I can see it. I got the orange peel thing happening, which happens quite a bit. It's not a problem. But let me put it back in here because it's crazy hot. And so there it is. And that's the can that did it. If refer back to the previous video just before this one to get the explanation of where I got this can. Basically a pre-mixed can at a paint store, not a pre-mixed, but a custom mixed can from a paint store, a real DuPont Nason brand automotive paint for my van. And I decided to try it on models, and it does work. This was, you can see there, I used this Nason primer, which is really, really good stuff. And then the white Nason mixed color on top of that. And, for any regular color, such as white, I wouldn't go to all this trouble, but a custom mixed color like an exact Mopar color, something like that, I might go down there, because I'm sure they got all the charts and chips and everything where you can hit it exactly right. Probably even a sampling optical scanner. Now the primer, when I run out of primer, I'm going to go back and get a can, because this primer is great. Very, very good primer. And I'll probably get the plastic coat primer when I'm there too, to compare primer to primer. But that will do it for this video. This is just basically a demonstration of how this particular DuPont automotive paint works on plastic models. I'm going to use this for the van, like I bought it to paint the back of my van where the paint was coming off. And I'm going to use the rest of it on that. If there's anything left over, I may or may not use it on the model. But, gosh, Rust-Oleum white would do the trick in this case. And I'm just saying the same thing over and over again, so I'll just stop here. I appreciate you watching. Later.